David, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a writer who's living in London at the moment. Essentially, as a writer, I'm interested in writing things that will inspire people to make changes in their lives on a very real, day-to-day basis. So I'd like to encourage people and help people in a not patronising way, but probably being patronising, to reconsider their assumptions about life, because our society's founded on assumptions like, in order to have a holiday, you've got to spend money on an aeroplane and you've got to go to Spain or France or, Dubai or whatever it is. Otherwise, it's not a holiday. And, there are hundreds of assumptions that we make. So at the moment, I'm doing a project where I don't have a phone. Over 90% of people in America have phones. So it's obvious that at that stage, when everybody has a phone, nobody's actually thinking about whether they need a phone or not. They just have a phone.
Right.
And it's those kinds of assumptions that I want to challenge, because ultimately I think when something becomes unconscious like that, when you've just got a phone because everyone's got a phone, when you're just buying a plane ticket because everyone buys a plane ticket, that's a problem for our society. That makes us less connected to what we're doing and why.
So let's talk about UKHIP.
Oh yeah.
What is UKHIP with a H?
This all came out of a promotion that was run earlier this year by the Daily Mail, which was £1 ferry tickets to Calais. And so my friend's gran spotted this in the Daily Mail,
right,
and sent it over to us because she knew that we went to Calais every now and again, and we thought, brilliant, this is a great opportunity to use the Daily Mail to do some good solidarity with migrants. And so we ended up writing a thank you letter to the Daily Mail, which
I saw that, it was really funny. Very funny.
Which went around the interweb, and that inspired a bunch of people to go over there on this Daily Mail £1 ferry deal as well. And through that, they came back and were like, oh my god, we want to do more here, we want to take more people. They were really inspired. And so out of that, this group UKHIP came along. So it's the United Kingdom Humanitarian Intervention Party, because we wanted a name that sounded like UKIP. And that was what one of our people came up with. And the idea of humanitarian intervention is a military term implying that some wars, some bombs can be humanitarian in some sense, which we fundamentally disagree with.
Who's we, by the way?
UKIP, the people of UKIP. It's a loose agglomeration of individuals and groups who want to try and change at a very grassroots level what people think about migrants, specifically the migrants in Calais, and to open up the discussion around our immigration policy, whether we should have an immigration policy, borders, migration in general. And ultimately it's come from this sense of injustice that we, by virtue of being born, in Britain, wherever it is in the West, have a piece of paper which means that, we can go and poke our noses in wherever the hell we want, all over the world. And no one will bat an eyelid, or they'll bow their heads and say, oh, thank you for your pounds and dollars. But there are some other people in the world, most of the rest of the world, who were born somewhere else and don't have that piece of paper, and the opportunities to appreciate the rest of humanity, the rest of the planet, just doors closed. And that's fundamentally unjust. What's interesting is when people go to Calais, I first went to Calais last summer, and since then I've gone back, I think about 5 times, and each time I've tried to take someone new to show them, to confront them, real eyeball to eyeball with other people who are living there, migrants, and to see for themselves, hear the stories for themselves. And I think that's the most powerful thing that I can do as an individual, is introduce people to this other world that is being created in our name. The government is doing this in order to protect us from, the hordes who will flood the UK with their foreign languages and their engineering skills and things like that.
What is it that your UKIP with a H? How do you pronounce it, by the way?
Usually with difficulty.
UKIP.
UKIP, yeah.
What is it that you're planning to do? So I know you're planning to do something on the 28th of March, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is it? Can you tell us what it is that you're planning to do?
We'll just go in a car loaded up with some donations, blankets, sleeping bags, tents and so forth, and we go to Calais and we're fundraising for to get donations of tents and sleeping bags and food. Someone's also raising money for sanitary products for women as well. That's happened recently. And so I'd say we've got, from my vague count, over 30 people, including half a cricket team, are going to go over to Calais on the 28th and essentially just hang out.
So the boat, you're planning to hire a boat?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's where I was going. So there was a throwaway line in the thank you letter to the Daily Mail about how we were thanking the Daily Mail for their humanitarian largesse, and how some people might think that that they were anti-immigration, but really they wanted to send a flotilla of D-Day style humanitarian aid to Calais. So this idea of a flotilla of D-Day style solidarity seems to have caught on. So yeah, when we were brainstorming ideas for this trip to Calais, one thing that we really loved was the idea of getting a boat. That looks like it's not going to happen. We did look into hiring a hovercraft.
Wow.
But it was something like some absurd sum of money, of £90,000 or something.
Do you know any hovercraft pilots?
Well, this is the thing. Like, I've been searching for pirates online, but they're not as easy to get hold of as they used to be.
Why do you think it's your role, or not just yours, but people that can get involved with UKIP? Why is it our role to go and help the people in Calais?
For me, it's definitely not about help. It's certainly not about charity. It's about sharing, solidarity, just empathy, showing that, every time I've gone to Calais, there is absolutely no doubt I've got more out of the experience than anyone I've met has. Like, I've gone over there and I've learned so much about, the rest of the human race, like other people, individuals. I've made friends,
So how can people listening to this, how can they get involved in UKIP?
Well, go to UKHIP.eu, which is UKHIP.eu. And
the H is important.
Yes. I'm not sure UKIP would have an EU.
No, probably not, no.
But yeah, UKHIP.eu. And on there you can find our Facebook page and Twitter feed. Perhaps, more pressingly, just go and find out more about Calais and the migrant situation there, and go and see for yourself, even if you can't make the 28th, or if this goes out after the 28th. That's not important. The idea is just to raise awareness. Will you keep UKIP going and have frequent trips to Calais, do you think? Who knows? We'll see. Okay. I mean, it's been a fair amount of organisation doing this, but I mean, I'm not going to forget about what I've learned, certainly. And but yeah, the real long-term activists in the area are No Borders, also parallel group to Calais Migrant Solidarity, and they have a website which is full of information and news from Calais. All right, I think we'll finish the thing there. Yeah. We've gone over an hour. Oh, we? Yeah, let's go with some extreme editing. yeah. Sorry about that. That's okay. It's all right. It's good when people talk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. A lot to say, I guess. Yeah, there is. Thank you.